Hey guys, today we're going to be going through a follow along using the wall bars. I love the wall bars and I've spoken about it before because being able to grip hold of something changes everything. Start off in a deep squat position. The wall bars will help you balance and you can use one hand to drive a knee outwards, creating hip abduction and external rotation. I like to call it the grind, where you just grind into that hip joint, gradually working further and further out to the side. You can brace the other knee using your hip external rotators, so you're not letting that other knee follow. Now bring one hand higher than the other and split your hands from one side to the other. We're going to drop our head down and through our arms and then take our top hand away from the bars and look up into the thoracic spine extension. Having the hand split like this is creating what's called type 1 motion in the spine, where we're side bending one way and rotating the other, and then we're dropping the head down into flexion and using the hand and the eyes to drive up into extension. So we've got type 1 side bending rotation, and then our head and hands are driving flexion and extension. So we're using this 3-dimensional way of mobilizing the thoracic spine. Now just coming back to the sagittal plane, forwards and backwards that is, using the head and the eyes to drive forwards and backwards while still in a deep squat. Now if you bring your ankles together, and we'll really just drive those ankles, drive those knees forwards, reset your hands into a different position if you need to keep your balance, taking the body in little circles around those ankle joints, just freeing them up. Next up, grab a stool or a bench. We're going to stretch the hip flexors. So you want the stool or the bench to be next to the bars and stand side onto the bars. Now, whichever foot is closest to the bars, you're going to take that up onto the bench or the step and take your hands up and overhead to hold onto the bars. Now, a few things are happening. I want you to think in vectors, which is force plus direction. I'm trying to drive the hips forwards, but then also slightly away from the bars. So it's almost like I'm falling away from the bars. That top hand is bringing in a lovely stretch to the lats, and as I drive the hips forwards and then fall away from the bars, that's opening up the hip flexors and really getting a lovely stretch through the psoas, again in multiple planes of motion. Same again, whichever foot is closest to the bars steps up onto the bench or the step, hands go up and overhead, reaching to the side. You'll see that lovely bow through the body where we're not just stretching the hip flexors but also the quads and the abs and the lats and the pecs. It really is a very long lever stretch all the way through the body. Here I'm just using the head to bring in a little bit of rotation. You can't see it here, but the front knee is just driving over the big toe, so slightly inwards, and then I'm hanging from the bars. Now turn and face the bars, both of your feet facing the bars, have soft knees, grip the bar and then hang backwards. So you're pushing your hips back away from the bars, and then make a nice little shoulder roll, feeling that shoulder blade glide and slide over the thorax. I get lots of little clicks and clunks. I try and drop my ear past my bicep, so you should be able to see some space between your ear and your bicep. Step back with the same side leg as the hand that's gripping now, and that will bring an even better stretch into the lats, and you can look under your arm and up to the ceiling, bringing in some stretch plus rotation into those fibers of the lat tendons, some of the rotator cuff muscles. So again, starting with the feet facing the bars, dropping that torso down through past the scapula, helping it glide and slide, feeling it click and clunk, and then once that feels free, you can take a step backwards with the same side foot as the side that you're stretching. Look through. You can drive your elbow onto your knee down at the bottom just to help get a few extra degrees of rotation and stretch. And then when that all feels nice and loose, take a grip of the bars just under shoulder height, and I want you to turn everything away from your hand. So I want your feet to face away from your hand, turn your chest away from your hand, you use your eyes to look away from your hand, and what we're stretching here are the pecs and the upper part of the bicep tendons. So really just twist and turn and stretch away from that gripping hand. Everything just trying to open up the front of that shoulder. To really add to the stretch, you can step forwards with the same side foot that you're stretching. So I'm stepping forwards with the right foot as I'm stretching my right pec. And you're just gently driving in and out of the stretch. Next up, we're going to hang from the top bar. I like to start with my feet on a step just to take some of my body weight away, to begin with at least. That means I can really focus the stretch into the shoulders and get a nice hanging feeling through the shoulders without having to load my body weight. Here we're just alternating between passive stretching, where you let your ears hang down between your shoulders, and active hanging, where you pull your ears away. Then imagine lasers are coming out your knees, and you're going to shine those lasers side to side, and this brings a lovely lower back rotation. If you feel able to, you can take your feet off the stool, so now all of your weight is supported by your hands, and you can just engage the ab muscles, so you're not all loose through your lower back. You're engaging your abs just to rock forwards and backwards, maintain a hollow body, they call it in gymnastics, and then sway side to side. And then you can get down when you're ready and just let the arms shake through. The final thing we're going to do is step onto the bottom rung of the ladder, hold on a little bit higher, and just want you to have a wriggle all the way through. Just hang and stretch from the bars. Scrunch yourself up into a curled little ball. Wriggle your knees around, opening up the lower back. Activate your scapulae to free up the connective tissues under your shoulder blades. There are no rules here. I just want you to listen to your body, have a wriggle, curl into a ball, hang, allow the grip to let your body weight open up the joints in your shoulders and your hips, and you can go back down into that deep squat where all this started. And then when you're done, have a little wriggle and see how you feel.